Dadcast Nation. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Dadcast Podcast. I'm your host, Lavelle Lamonier, and I want to thank you for being a part of what we're doing. Hey, before we get into the show this week, would you do me a great big favor? Right down below this video, there's a subscribe button and a like button. Would you go ahead and click subscribe? Doesn't cost you anything, but you can get all of the information about what we're doing every week. And the like button, that really helps us out. If you subscribe and like, those two things make a big difference. And then if you feel like leaving us a comment, go ahead and do so right down below in the comment section. We love to hear from the Dadcast Nation. Hey, I also got to give a great big thank you and a hey, honey, what's up, boo? To my lovely wife, Dr. Gabrielle Lamonier, who is the co-content manager and co-producer of this show. She's the brains behind this operation, and I just couldn't do it without her. So thank you, honey. Thank you for pushing us toward excellence every single week. Are you serious? Again, another dad joke? Okay. Why do watermelons have weddings? Because they cantaloupe. Let's go and watch this next episode. Hey folks, Lavelle here with the Dadcast Podcast. Dadcast Nation, I've got a treat for you today. I'm in New Brunswick, New Jersey, and I came into this camera shop, and I did not know I was going to find this hidden gem in the form of Greg Ritter, who is the owner of the George Street Camera shop here in New Brunswick. He's been having this shop for 42 years, and he's told me a great amount of information about New Brunswick, about a very special statue outside that we're going to talk about, and he's given me some hidden gems in the Northeast area as well. So I'd like to welcome to the Dadcast Nation, Mr. Greg Ritter. Thank you very much. Greg, tell me a little bit about your shop, first of all, and its origin and what you do here.
Well, I rolled into this town actually 50 years ago, in 1971. Went to work for a camera store, and a few years later opened up my own store. And I've just become part of the community of New Brunswick, and it's Rutgers University, about 60,000 students, and it's a county seat, and it's the world headquarters of Johnson & Johnson, and got lots of stories about the revolution. A lot happened here, so, and I like being here.
I tell you what, folks, this is definitely one of those shops that you come into where you feel at home. And as a matter of fact, one of his customers just came in here, a lady by the name of Judy. And I was just sitting back waiting. She came in, she mentioned Greg by name. She got her product that she came in for. She walked out. Greg greeted her by name. And that goes to show you that in towns in America, we still have personalized service, and we still have a lot of one-on-one attention that's given to customers from business owners. And as you guys know, Dadcast Nation, the small business is the engine that runs our country. And so we're pleased to have a guy like Greg here who can tell us about his shop. And now, what about this statue that's outside?
All right. Well, this was something that was on my mind for quite a while, and I guess maybe the late 80s or early 90s I started festering me because we have a couple hotels, and people come down from the Hyatt, and they would look around and they would know this town was here for a couple hundred years during the Revolution, and they wanted to know stories. I realized that there were some stories I'd be telling them, just like I told you, walking into the store. And the more I thought about this one particular person called Colonel John Nielsen. His family came from Belfast around 1709. He was one of the most instigators for independence in America. He was a young man, 31 years old, 1776, and he raised a militia, and so he became Colonel John Nielsen. And so when the Declaration was made on the 2nd of July, of course we call it the 4th of July because that's when they read it there at, in Philadelphia, they went from town to town, and this was believed to be the third stop. And they were looking for Colonel John Nielsen because he was really the man in this area, the Colonel of Middlesex County. And they found him in a tavern. It was called the Whitehall Tavern, and so they told him what they had there. And so we called everybody to that corner, which is about 3 blocks from my store, and he pulled out a tavern table, and he got on top of it and read the declaration. And because of that, General Howe and others came into town about a month later and burned down his church and took over his house for headquarters, and he ran with Washington south and west of here. In any case, so it's known around here, but very few people knew about that. So I decided to create a organization. It's called New Brunswick Public Sculptures, and my first project is to have a statue of John Nielsen reading the Declaration of Independence. And it took me 10 years from the time I started to the time I unveiled it. It took me 2 years to find the right artists. It took about $170,000 to do it. And it's quite nice. I don't know if you filmed it or not.
I haven't, but we're going to go out there. Dadcast Nation will be out there shortly. We're going to film it and get a good look at it. But it's a beautiful statue. I saw some people taking photos out when I was coming in. And to my surprise, the architect of this whole idea of the statue is right here in front of us.
Yeah, well, I'm real happy of it. I'm real proud of it. And you're right. It's the most photographed statue in New Brunswick. We have several here and there of different stories, and so yeah, I'm happy that helped create this, and I had a good board that helped me along the way, and there it is.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, hey guys, if you're ever in the New Brunswick area, even if you don't have any camera equipment or framing needs, come here to this shop. This guy has an amazing shop. He does framing. He does camera work. He does film work. For those of you out there that still have 35mm cameras, he does film work. And if you're just in the New Brunswick area and you want to come and see a hidden gem, come here to the George Street Camera Shop. Come and talk to Greg, and I'm sure he'll be very welcoming to you.
All right, thank you very much. I'll leave you with another note about the 4th of July. 2 years later, in 1778, Washington was in the area here, and he marched 200 of his men down on the Raritan River, which is right here on our banks, and he did 13 volleys by cannon across the river for the independence of America. And actually, that was the first celebration of the 4th of July.
Huh, right here.
Yeah, 2 years later.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't until 1783 that we finally got our independence, that was there. You know?
Right.
So, you know.
There you go, folks. It's another reason to visit this great area.
And here we are. It's just right past the 4th of July. What's today's date?
Today is the 10th, 9th?
9th?
What?
Today's the 9th?
Today's the 9th.
Oh my
July
God!
9th.
What are the odds of that? He read it on July 9th when it came this way, and here we are. Just who knew?
Meant to be here,
There you
folks. July the 9th.
I
What
like
year
that.
was that? 1776.
Yeah, of course.
So here we are, all these years later, right here where he read the Declaration. The statue's outside. We're gonna go take a look at it shortly. You guys stay tuned. We've got a lot more coming from this northeastern shoreboard here in the United States, and we're glad to be with you. Thank you much.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Hope
Thank you for
it,
taking time to
hope,
talk to
people
talk
stop
to our
by and take a look.
followers.
Oh,
All right.
my pleasure. Thanks.
Hey folks, I'm back here at the statue. I've got Greg with me. He's going to tell me a little more about this statue. I'll let you take a look at the Colonel John Nielsen, who went on to be a general, I believe. Come on into the camera view, Greg. Say hello to Dadcast Nation again.
Well, thank you for having me back.
All right, so tell me again about the statue. And
Okay, so on July 9th, 1776, a few days after it was created, and this was on its way to New York, and this was an important harbor across the Raritan River. So this is where it was read, one of the times it was read, as it made its way up to the East Coast.
All
You
right.
notice the table, because he read it on the table, and on the table, it's hard to see with the lighting, on there. And also this is, he's reading the tablet of, I think it's called the Dumas paper. That's when they recreated a few of them. And he's actually reading it. And he was, like I said, 31 years old at the time.
Right.
And if you could walk with me a little bit this way, how we fundraised it, and we have all the signers wrapped all the way around, and sponsors of the signers. So we were paying, I sponsored Ben Franklin, I also sponsored Ellery, and that helped us pay for the sculpture.
All right.
And we added a little bit of Shakespeare. Over here, under three names of myself and two of my friends, we have We Happy Few, which is from the Shakespearean Band of Brothers. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers.
Right.
Or he who sheds his blood shall be my brother. And these people and these signers were a band of brothers as well. So there you are. And glad you're seeing it.
All right, well, thank you much for stepping out here to show us this beautiful statue. Dadcast Nation, let me let you get a good look at the front of it. And you can see it was dedicated on July the 9th, 2017. And here we are, July the 9th, 2021, just by happenstance that I happen to be here on July the 9th. Go figure. All right, folks, I just wanted to give you a quick look at that, at this beautiful statue. We're going to look around New Brunswick for just a little bit, and then we'll be back at you somewhere along this Eastern Shoreboard before too long. You guys take care. God bless.